Hey guys, Justin here, and it's update time, so let's first see what they did to the ARCA car. Wait, what the The biggest updates pertaining to us oval guys has got to be the active restart zone and the custom sectors. I came up with 5 immediate uses to how to use these to improve your practice and put in some reps to where you really weren't able to efficiently before in iRacing, so let's take a look at them. A quick note before getting into it is these are not assigned by default, so make sure to assign all of these points first. All right, now let's go mess with it. So the audio got kind of scuffed for some of this, so I'm going to voice dub over a couple parts. So this section is going to be on qualifying. Basically, what this has changed for qualifying is that people can get at least double the amount of qualifying attempts in for the same amount of time just by using the active restart zones. By doing this at the start of the lap or on the run up at least, you don't have to go back to pits and start all over again. People were talking about for road courses how you can practice far away corners over and over again. This is kind of like that because when you're doing a qualifying lap, you have to come out of the pits, you have to pace your way all the way around, sometimes do a full run up lap, and you can basically save all that time by using the active restart zone, which should at least 2 to 3 times more the attempts per the amount of time that you have. And so another thing that these lines can be used for is for practicing cold tires. So one thing that shows up a lot is people don't really know how to approach the first couple corners, so they either do it too gingerly or they spin out because of the cold tires. So what we're going to do here is we're going to simulate a start. I'm going to pretend there's a car on my outside and I'm starting from the bottom. I'm going to do my restart point right before the Geico restart zone, and then I'm going to throttle up and set my sector point at the Geico restart zone. Actually, I think it's a little bit too long, so I might have to do it in turn 1. So I'll do it right into the patches. I'll pretend there's a car on my outside, so I'm going to choke my car off so that I don't slide all the way up into the wall. And right when we're off the exit, we are going to mark our endpoint. And then we're going to do the right arrow and go back. And now we're back at the Geico restart zone. So I will up throttle here. And then when we reach the sector, I'm going to do the same thing, where I pretend that I have the car on my outside and that I have to stay low off the corner. And then we'll see how hard I push it. So this is the baseline. The last one was just setting the points. So we'll have to do it a couple more times, but you get the point. So I stay lane off the wall. 12.66. Okay, go back to our spot. We're going to practice again. See how much time I'm missing out on if I push harder. 50 miles an hour. We go to the Geico restart zone. Harder than I was. A little bit of time is good. So you see, actually, wow, I was missing out on almost a full tenth on that last attempt. So we talked about cold tires in the first lap, but how about the start itself? I saw in Nick Nebon's video he was doing standing starts in the road car, but it's just the same for oval cars. So I'm actually going to show off something really interesting here. I have my car on Autoblip instead of Antistall clutch right now, so I'm going to bring it down to 50 miles an hour, and we're going to compare Autoblip to Antistall clutch. So I'll put this here, I'll put the sector right at the Geico restart zone, and then I'll put the other sector at the start-finish line. Start-finish line right here. Alright, now we go back to our spot, bring it to 50. So we did that in 5.63. First gear, 50 miles an hour, same parameters. We're going to go to the Geico restart zone, and we're going to see if Antistall is better than Autoblip. I think I got a little jump there, maybe about half a tenth worth, but you could see just in getting through 2 gears right there, it was a tenth of a second jump right each time I shifted a gear. So a lot of people ask, why am I bad at restarts? The first thing I ask them is, are you using Autoblip for shifting? And a lot of the times they'll say yes, and I'll say, well, there you go. So anyways, let's move on to the next one. So the next use is going to be for long run. So a lot of the times when practicing long run, the most frustrating thing is that when you get into later in a run, but before you really get to the part where you want to practice, you mess up and either spin out and destroy your tires or you hit a wall. And so what you can do now is you can set the markers at the beginning of each of your laps so that you can kind of save your progress. So if you make it to lap 20, you can save it at lap 20. And so even if you wreck coming out of 1 and 2 on lap 20, you can go back and kind of resume where you were. And this saves tons of time, especially if you mess up. And this kind of gives you more freedom too to kind of push for speed and try to find some limits. Another application for this tool for long runs is exploring different lines during a late run. It's very hard to really search for lines when you're practicing long run because you never really know if a bad line is going to destroy your tires or not. So you can go explore without having to hurt your tires at an expense, because if you just hit the wrong line to begin with, you can say, okay, that didn't work, I'll start over. So you can keep doing that over and over again until you can find the best line for you at each point in the run, which I think is completely invaluable. And the last thing that you can practice really can be anything, but I'm going to call it situational practicing. So let's say that I've done a 30 lap long run here, and I know that this is ARCA where there's no cautions, but let's suspend disbelief and pretend that we're doing like trucks or something. There's a lot of the times in trucks where you'll have a restart with maybe 5 laps to go, and you'll say, maybe if I took 2 tires there, I would have been able to win the race and hold people off. Well, there's ways to practice that now over and over again, where we can just put 2 tires on the car. So I'm going to go down pit road here and put 2 tires on the car. And then after that, we are going to do a mock restart.
Move it, move it.
Alright, I put 2 tires on the car after a 35 lap long run. So now we can do the practice of, can this even work? And if it can work, how am I going to run the fastest? So you see, you have to work with the tire spin, get used to the tire spin. I see a lot of times people just wreck the car, not knowing if the tire spin's coming. This is a good way to practice that. See how loose this gets. Gets pretty darn loose. Okay. Try it one more time. Alright, now we're good. So I said okay. Still spun my wheels a little bit, so I gotta be a little smoother on the throttle. Going through the gears. Got a little loose here, so maybe a little more of the car. Still pretty loose, but not unmanageable. So it's just notes like that that'll allow you to make more aggressive hit decisions and be more situationally aware. Anyways, let me know if you have any other applications of these new tools that you haven't seen yet, and I would be very interested to see what people can come up with, because I think you can be really creative with this. But other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.